And here we are on February 12th with the sunset. About a 3-hour clip here. Now, after the sun goes out of view, I'm going to zoom in and we'll be able to see Venus set along with Saturn. And here on the 12th, we had Venus setting at about 6:21 and Saturn a few hours later at 8:37. And so what we call the planets, lights like Venus and Saturn, which they aren't actually planets, they aren't other worlds comparable to ours that are out floating in a endless emptiness, but they're lights in our sky spiraling overhead. And so the reason Venus and Saturn and the moon all rise and set like the sun is because they are doing what the sun is doing. They are revolving around our world. And here we have a ghostly sliver of a moon, and shots like these where the sun is so close and yet the moon is so pale. It's the end of a lunar cycle, and as the days go by, the sun will get closer and closer to the moon. That sliver will shrink down more and more until they line up for a few days, just like they always do. And we can see the moon's rise coordinates jumping almost 20 degrees to the north in just a few days to line up with the sun for the new moon, just like they always do. And here's the clip of the sun and the moon from February 23rd. Now, pay attention to the rise and set times between the moon and Jupiter, and we're going to watch over the next few days as the moon heads north, allowing Jupiter to kind of come zooming by, but then the moon is going to head south pretty fast and end up closer to the equator than the Tropic of Cancer by the time the moon is full. And here we are, February 26th, we have the moon. Now, Jupiter has already risen and is not far from moon at the moment, but with the daylight, can't see him yet, so we're going to come back out in a short while and look for Jupiter. So in this 24-hour period, two things are going to happen in relation to Jupiter and Moon's position relative to each other. Jupiter has a more kind of consistent, steady speed than the Moon. So he was already gearing to pass. But Moon is also going to head south, start cutting south like she does in her monthly tropic to tropic migration. And so the reason that Moon and Jupiter can have such a drastic change of position in relation to each other in only 24 hours is because Jupiter and the Moon are both revolving around magnetic north, and Jupiter and Moon possess independent motion, so to speak. So what we are seeing is not the entire world rotating once a day, but we are watching these two independent lights kind of meander on their own prescribed paths. March 1st, moon filling up, heading south, and the distance between her and Jupiter increases. And here we are, just a half hour later, the daylight has moved out of the area and Jupiter is now visible. And here we are, March 3rd. The moon continues to head south and fill up on her trip back to meet up with the sun for the end of her cycle. And the distance between moon and Jupiter increases. And you just have to keep going. Things seem to get worse, but you have to keep going and keep moving forward. And aim your gaze at the light, wherever it may be.